Change is so difficult for many to deal with. Use these tips to help you deal with change. Acceptance. This is probably the biggest step and the most necessary one. Accept that life will always be changing. It's the one true thing you can depend on above all else. When you and your friends are hanging out in high school, it all changed when you graduated. There are and will be plenty more examples throughout your life. Remember, don't get too comfortable. The biggest changes seem to always happen when we are content or comfortable. While there may not be scientific evidence to back this up, you should always be ready for anything that comes your way. When you're comfortable in your situation is when you let your guard down, which makes it more of a shock when something does change. Talk about your feelings towards change. People tend to let things build up inside. They don't talk about their situations, or if they do, they don't talk about the right people. If the changes are at work, for instance, consider talking to your manager about the impact of those changes. Managers are human beings, despite what people otherwise believe. Present your concerns in a professional manner and try not to flare up your anger, even if it isn't directed at your manager. Bear in mind that your manager may be dealing with the changes much the same as you are. Try to turn the change in your favor. The phrase, "turn lemons into lemonade," has widely been overused. However, it's hard to deny the meaning of it and the impact from that meaning. If you are dealing with change in one form or another, see what angles you can use to make it work to your benefit. Keep changes you can control to a minimum. If you try to enact too many changes at once, it may overwhelm the people who are affected by them. People need time to absorb these changes and incorporate them into their lives. If you bombard them with a bunch of changes, they will likely rebel, and you will be left picking up the pieces. Sometimes, the changes you put into place can't be helped, but if you do have control over them, try to introduce them slowly over time. You can join support groups. Some changes will impact people where they need the support of others. This can happen when death strikes or some long-term illness. It could be trying to give up a type of addiction, all that. There may be other types of changes where people need to reach out. Seek out the help of others who are going through similar circumstances as you are. Always trust your instincts. People may be forced into situations or decisions that may go against what they believe in. If you find yourself in such a situation, it's best to go to your own gut and trust your instincts. If the change doesn't feel right and you have no power to counter it, try to remove yourself from the situation if you feel strongly about it. Hey, and remember, change can lead to unforeseen opportunities. This goes in line a bit with the lemonade for lemons. But when you start to focus on change being something that is good, opportunities will be more open to you. You have a way of finding you. These opportunities may not have been presented themselves had the changes not occurred. Some of your actionable steps could be forcibly make more changes in your life to get used to dealing with change. Handle anything you are required to do because of changes that have taken place. And then always think back to recent changes that you have had to deal with.